Okay, hello to the Foundation Infrastructure Working Group meeting 27th of February.
You were almost saying TOC.
Almost, I have to think about it.
Yes.
It's not it's not given. Yeah, we'll go over the PRs we have and then talk about any other business, or maybe Plamen, you are joining for the first time, I think. Do you have anything urgent to discuss?
Yeah, hello. No, I joined for
Hi.
the system D resolve the item that you have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we will come to them. I think it will not take much time until we are there. We are starting from pending merge from the right to the left. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, what is the situation here? Okay, we said this depends on the Bosch contribution. We first need to agree for the Bosch contribution, and then we can. We have already approvals here.
Yeah, if we haven't, it heavily depends on the other one because the other one was a breaking CPI change, if I remember right.
Yeah, that's why. So here is the Bosch change. So it is extending the create stem cell method with one additional parameter for text, which is change to the API. I don't know. No one is here from the Bosch team. I have to ask them to. So actually, I tried to make the point here.
Fix nil issue. We don't know if this fixes it.
We have to have discussions. Okay. I think we need to discuss this. Sorry, I jumped to the. So this is something.
This is an ambiguous sounding one because there was a security concern
For the CI. So we have one approval.
Yeah.
Should be good here to merge. Or do you have anything against merging?
No, it should be fine.
Joseph, you are not audible. I don't know. We don't hear you.
Yeah, he is audible for me. Maybe it's your
Hello?
phone. No, I can hear you.
Can Beyhan hear
No,
anybody?
Or Ruben, Ramon,
I can
are
hear
you
him.
here?
I can hear him.
It's
you.
on my side.
Apparently so. I can hear everyone.
Interesting. Just a second.
But Joseph, why is this? Why are we going to make? Oh, this is for greenhouse. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is the only repo in the world that uses a makefile, as far as I know. And so there was a blog post like 2 weeks ago or so about using abandoned AWS buckets to do malicious things, and like 3 of there's examples were Cloud Foundry things, and one of them was this makefile in greenhouse, which is like RCI doesn't even use the makefile. There's like this old makefile that we copy in because of like some insane attempt to migrate at some point. But in theory, if somebody cloned stem build and tried to build stem build themselves, it would try to pull things from a bucket that's no longer valid, like really old stuff, like like really old versions of the GCS CLI for use on Windows that were just like hard coded into stem build. The pipelines all like build up all this stuff for stem build via concourse resources and is much more sane. We tried to rip out the makefile entirely. The problem is that the reason there's a makefile is because it works on both Windows and Linux, where the two places where you can build stem build, because it's meant for building Windows stem cells, so you might as well be able to run it on Windows. So I don't know exactly what they did here, but they cleaned it up basically. And I don't know. I'd at some point like to just delete the makefile and have a build win and build Linux script, but there's a bunch of stuff in here, and a lot of it's just like sort of documentation stuff. As far as like, this is what you need to build stem build, because it's like really hard to build stem build. You need to download the agent, download these PS modules, download all the Blobster CLIs, like get all this stuff together, and then like zip half of it up over here and half of it up over there, and then you can build stem build, because stem build is ultimately a binary, but that binary has to have all those other binaries inside of it to inject them into the stem cell when it builds it. So it's a thing. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the motivation here was to address that security concern. And
Basically, what you're saying is we need to get rid of the Windows stem cell builds.
there's many things that need to change about Windows stem cell building. But yes, that's some of the background on this, I think. And
yeah, I also faced the Windows with RFC to support file-based service bindings. I completely ignored that you have Windows Diego cells support. But okay, yeah, then I think we have one review. Sure.
yeah, the only thing nobody builds stem build because it's too hard, even with the make files. So the only thing this is likely to break is our Windows stem cell CI that builds the public ones. So if it breaks, we'll fix it.
Okay, so we talked about that release. So we talked about tagging stem cells. This is something else at release property validation.
Like, no update on this. I probably need to ping these people, which I probably said last week.
Yeah, still the same. Yeah. This is the AWS CPI change about tagging stem cells. And what is this?
This is the light stem cell support in Azure, which is good. We should probably get another review on it, but yeah, I ran it and it seemed great.
So we have Brian assigned here.
I can ping him also. I'll ping the whole team, considering it seems like we're behind.
Yeah, still we wait for the review. So a lot of stuff in the inbox.
Let's do the system resolve so we can for the guy from bottom up.
Ramon, you are.
You were saying suggesting just to go from the bottom up to start at the system D thing.
We have the guy. Let's not wait. Let's not wait longer for it.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
This is one of two PRs to resolve problems with Noble.
Was this with the Diego issue?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So fun times. Network namespaces are a thing that I know nothing about. Well, I used to know nothing about. Now I know a little bit about. So yeah, so systemd resolve listens on 127 address. Those are not routable across namespaces. So containers, when told talk to systemd resolve to resolve DNS, they can't talk there. The traffic is not routable. So this change makes systemd resolve D also listen on this 169.254.053 address, and then you can configure Diego to use that, and then that allows containers to have access to it.
Okay. One's magic addresses.
Okay, I assigned reviewers, so this is pending review.
Uh, the Bosch DNS one at the bottom also is related to that, which is after we fixed that in containers DNS, it turns out container to container DNS didn't work at all. And I learned that handlers are a thing that Bosch DNS has that we totally basically excluded from Noble when we were excluding recursors. So handlers are basically recursors, but for internal use, and like internal services, internal Bosch jobs can publish handlers. So I'm pretty sure this is how Bosch or container to container networking works. Is there's the Bosch DNS adapter on Diego cells, and it's basically who Bosch DNS proxies to for resolving container to container DNS names. So this does two things. It actually re-enables handlers on Noble, which were in an if block that wasn't getting executed when you disabled recursors. So that's important. And also it changes the systemd resolved updater, which is what runs at startup to configure resolved be like, hey, these domains that I know about, you should talk to Bosch DNS about them. So it makes sure it grabs the ones that handlers are registering with Bosch DNS in addition to the existing like default one and anything made by an aliases file. So now all three of those use cases are covered, and systemd resolved is configured to talk to Bosch DNS for any of those.
But last time you said that this was not necessary and should all be handled by systemd resolved, right? Like last year, or was this not the case? Am I
The
confused now with
container to
what you-
container networking?
Yeah,
I don't know how it would know the answers to those questions, but I also didn't know how anybody knew the answers to those questions.
no, I know that we had
Oh.
discussions about it a long time ago, but
That was actually something. So Jeff on the runtime team was the one working on this with me, and I think, or maybe it was somebody on our team. I don't know. Somebody was suggesting like, oh, should Bosch DNS adapter register itself with systemd resolved like Bosch DNS does, rather than talking to Bosch DNS? And they could do that. I think that is a pretty large change to ask of them, and also prevents them. Well, I guess they could do it in pre-start. One of the problems with that is that in order for systemd resolved to talk to Bosch DNS, we had to make a whole interface on the VM. We have to make this not a virtual interface, but a dummy interface. So like all the people wanting to register a handler would have to make an interface, assign an IP address, which make sure you don't collide with somebody else doing that, and then do this thing to register that interface with systemd resolved, which seems like asking too much of these jobs when they can just keep doing what they're doing, register the handler with Bosch DNS, and then we proxy everything.
totally fine. But
Yeah.
I thought we had a discussion about this, and I don't know what came out of it because I can't remember it anymore because it's already more than a year ago.
I can say that I definitely did not participate in that discussion accurately because I had no idea what handlers were, how anything worked back then, prior to Tuesday of this week, I think.
Okay.
Okay, I think we need also review here. Plamen, do you have any questions after the
No,
explanation?
not really. That was very good explanation.
Yeah, we need these two changes in them to produce a new stem cell and Bosch release, and then CF deployment will be able to validate again. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. That was the last thing, and
Yeah.
Always DNS.
But this time not Windows.
We don't know yet, right? Oh no, it's Noble, right? So it shouldn't be Windows. But still.
maybe Windows is a problem with container to container against Noble.
This is remove unused vagrant reference.
yeah, we also still have vagrant stuff, I think, in the stem cell. We have vagrant stuff in a lot of places that comes sometimes across. I think we also have it in the stem cell builder.
We deleted it all out of the agent a couple of years ago, but that was because somebody deleted the vagrant image out from under us and we had to fix everything. A good motivator.
Vagrant was
Oh.
nice like 10 years ago. Or
We got Constantine assigned. Most probably this won't work.
I don't know. He's still around. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it?
Okay.
I don't know what he's currently doing. I don't know if he checks his. But I still talk to him sometimes.
At some point we need to update.
Mhm.
I know I didn't see any actions from him or interactions in the community, but maybe I am not watching everything.
Constantine is doing his own thing right now, like building a van.
Okay.
I need to go. See you guys later. Sorry.
See
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So this is documents.
I thought I already did this. This must be in a different spot.
Document support for Azure managed disk encryption. Maybe this is just
Yeah. This is, I documented somewhere in Bosch.io, I documented the cloud properties, but this is just the sort of, you're using Azure. These are info about it. I can just approve this right now. That all looks.
yeah, I think that we can just this small change. I have the kids around and they're complaining about
Everything.
watching my watch recommendation. Kids today. Okay, this update construction of stem cell automation zip.
This is probably changes around the makefile also, which, yeah, this process is just ugly. So whatever Brian's doing there is can't be worse.
But yeah, we need to review here. It's
Yeah.
complicated.
My guess is, well, let's see, a script has been added when provided the assets. Yeah, so before it would just like download random things that were hard coded in the makefile, which is like never what you want because these things get updated constantly. So I'm betting now it just sort of airs out and tells you what you need to assemble rather than, yeah, echo unable to locate. Make it yourself, please.
Okay, yeah. Wow.
Which all the steps for doing this are in the greenhouse repo that CI does, and it's in the pipeline and whatnot. But yeah, if you want to build it yourself, no longer will we let you build something that's, you can see there's just like download URLs there of like, oh, let's get this version of this hard-coded version of the LGPO binary and this hard-coded version of the blob store S3 URL. Some of them did glob from there, you know, ls the bucket and get the latest things, but some of them were just, you know, the GCS CLI version 006. That's probably not a new one. I can't imagine when that was built. But yeah, so yeah, reviews are fine. But end result is basically there'll be some manual steps if you want to build stem build yourself. Which there are not good reasons for building stem build yourself, but
So it's mainly used for Windows, or it's also
yes, stem build is used for making Windows stem cells. It is actually solely used for making Linux Windows stem cells. The team before VMware bought Pivotal, the team was in the process of making stim build work for all IaaSes. So you would use stim build to make stim cell in any IaaS, and it's a fairly simple thing. It's like, okay, you make a VM, and then stim build targets the VM and like does a bunch of stuff to it, installs the agent, the blobster CLIs, like turns that VM into a stim cell. So that's like stim build construct, and then there's a stim build package which then takes that VM and snapshots it into a heavy stim cell of some kind. So that works for vSphere currently. They had plans of making it work for all the IaaSes. Right now, all the other IaaS stim cells are built using a bunch of Packer scripts. So, you know, expanding stim build to do that for all IaaSes would be ideal, but you know, Packer's not broken yet, and it's a lot of work to do stim build. So there's not a team dedicated to it anymore. So we've just been sort of keeping it on life support. But
Okay.
it's a better idea because it does allow anybody to build a Windows stem cell as opposed to the Packer scripts, which involves somebody spinning up a gigantic CI pipeline to build a Windows stem cell.
Mhm. I can recall that back 2016 when I've been doing the dojo at Pivotal. There was similar process to publish AWS images, like spinning a VM, then somehow.
Or the Linux ones?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, there might have been. The stem cell build process probably changed a lot sort of between 2016 and 2020.
Yeah.
I know that it does that for light stem cells. Heavy stem cells for Linux are all built without any IaaS at all, which shocked me when I learned that. I'm like, really? We don't need an IaaS to build stem cells?
Okay, we are done with the PRs. Alex, do you have a topic? You are in the call.
Just a quick shout out to the IPv6 RFC. It's been updated a few days ago. There is some things about how we would express IPv6 prefix delegation in Bosch Cloud config or network. The Bosch colleagues did it, so I don't quite know. But any feedback from you guys would be very much appreciated. If the proposal that we've put there makes sense at all to you, if you have any comments, any vetoes, anything really.
That's on the community RFC?
Yes, it's on the community thing, exactly. 1077 is the ID. Yep, that one.
Look how great the repository looks. Only how many? 5 open PRs? 6, 5? Okay, I'm pasting that to the chat.
Thank you.
Okay. Then we can continue with the issues. Wow.
Say goodbye and have a nice evening. Bye.
See you. Bye-bye. Okay, there are no new issues, at least.
I also have to drop. Thanks. Have a nice
Yeah.
evening.
See you, Plamen. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So last meeting was 20th of February. I don't see.
Everything is fixed.
Yeah.
You finished it. Bosch is done.
Well, she's done. We only need to get Noble working and
And IPv6, but the rest is done.
yeah. Okay, promotion. I think the promotions, Ruben, you merged. There was one pending. You merged
The
today.
UAA, right? Yeah, but we had all the approvals.
Yes, yes. I was waiting for you. Yeah, maybe we can look shortly into the Noble. Sorry, I'm jumping around. Just There was one we discussed, I think, for Noble to remove packages which are not in the main Ubuntu repository about SCSI tools. In your
Oh yeah. Yeah. I looked for that and could find 0 usages of it. I think I commented that somewhere. I don't remember where. Somebody was wondering if they should make a PR. That looks like it.
Yeah, here. Okay. So this is then open for contribution. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
already in that state.
I can make a PR for that if they don't.
Yeah,
They haven't
if you
gotten
have-
around to it.
Yeah. This was
Seems
one.
like it's probably 2 lines to remove.
We can try the GitHub AI, whether it will manage to do the PR. Other Noble needs to keep in sync with. Yeah, this is just for us. Is this still open? What is
That's sort of a, you know, I don't know about errors. I don't know. I was thinking about removing the rsyslog PPA packages or sources, but this is different, I guess. Where'd Ramon go?
You have to go.
I know.
What are these errors?
Sorry?
What are these errors?
Oh, I vaguely remember this. Yeah, and then that PR does something to fix it. Ramon's waiting for some upstream bug to be fixed. Yeah, there's a canonical bug.
Okay.
What was the fix in the tab to the right?
Them fixes.
Sure.
Is this merged? Do we need to do something?
I think so. This is, yeah, not
This is
recent.
much. Yeah, this is a commit in the stem cell.
But yeah, but this is then still. Can
I
it be
think Ramon
closed?
has the issue open because he wants to delete this once they fix the upstream bug.
This is pointing here. I thought this is the upstream bug. Where is the upstream issue?
He was at the top of the issue.
It was at the top. Oh, sorry, I didn't.
We need 3 people to read issues, right? It's pretty hard.
With the AI these days.
Confirmed, unassigned.
Okay.
Bug affects 2 people.
Right.
It will take time, most probably.
And this probably can stay open, but also like it can stay open indefinitely, right? Like we can go GA without this
Yeah.
being fixed. This is not a blocker.
Yeah. This is we should delete this code at some point.
Yeah.
And
That
this
one's a
is
blocker.
all. Sorry?
The one at the bottom.
Yeah, this is the CF deployment we discussed.
Yeah.
We discussed that one.
That's kind of important. It's kind of important that Noble works with CF deployment.
And what's the Bosch DNS Noble support? Is that
That is something
Yeah.
I hoped to work on last Friday. Didn't get very far. Mostly it's, I would have said it was done last week. Turns out now it's officially done once that new PR, but mostly a lot of stuff doesn't work anymore in Bosch DNS because it's not, you can't, there's all these configs in there's way too many configs in Bosch DNS. And if Bosch DNS is not the primary source of information, it can't be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to change google.com to be this IP over here. Like before you could like do that, and now you can't do that. So I think what needs to be done is just deprecating those properties, being like, this won't work, noble and onward. It's part of the description in the spec file, and also, or if they, yeah, deprecating them and figuring out which properties don't work, which was my goal last week. Friday, I started going through it and then realized I have no idea what most of these properties do, and I have no idea if they work in noble, so I should really just deploy 2 VMs and with each property set, and then try to see if I can do whatever the feature says it does. So I'm going to get around to that, but
Okay, I see. They are still work beside the reconfiguration of the handlers.
yeah, I mean, it's just documenting stuff that doesn't work in noble and won't work because of the way that systemd resolved works.
Mhm. Yeah.
And really, most of the features were like, in my opinion, should not have been built. Like, this was not Bosch DNS's job to let you like change DNS records. Like, you want to do crazy stuff like that, put it in your upstream resolvers. Like, do not use Bosch DNS.
So how are these handler plugins gonna work, right? Like, because if I remember correctly, you needed to inject the suffixes of the domains into the
Yeah.
resolve conf stuff. So how are you gonna figure that one out? How
So-
are you gonna know
So
which
the
suffixes to use?
we just looped through them all. So conveniently for all of the aliases, there was already a method in Bosch GNS for like, give me all the domains for all the aliases. And so we just took that, looped through them all, and like used those as part of the command line to resolve conf to tell it like, hey, for the Bosch DNS adapter, send us stuff for these addresses. We're responsible for these. So it's the same thing for the handlers. The handlers register with the domain name, and then, for this domain, send it to here. And so we just then
Is that also
basically do the
okay?
same.
That's also true for the okay, it's the cf.local or something thing for the
Yeah.
apps, right?
So I didn't even realize that we needed to do that so I made the PR to fix the handlers, like turn handlers back on. I didn't even think about the like, oh, and also configure systemd resolved to like send us those queries. So I did half of it, but not the other half when I was testing with Jeff, and it worked. So whatever suffix they're using over there is like a sub suffix that we're already using, or it's something that was already being sent to us. I didn't really look at the details of it, but yeah. So the updating the resolve conf command to include those is, future proofing it if somebody does use a different domain. But yeah, I'm guessing they
Is
were
that already
using,
part of your PR or not?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, we did that yesterday. We added another commit to it.
Okay, then it's still open, the Bosch DNS.
Yeah, the docs changes aren't obviously a blocker. The current PR is a blocker, but
Yeah.
that should get.
And on the noble stem cell no longer uses monit, so this is
Nice to have.
nice. Yeah.
Also, not the right title. Really, it's Noble Numba has an alternative to Monet was what it should have. I think the solution we came up with. But yeah, I almost got around to this. I did get around to this, and then I stopped because I was like, we were going to have to put a new file into the Bosch release of like processes dot whatever. And it would basically be a BPM YAML that's at a different spot, not called BPM YAML, and then have the agent pull in parts of BPM, import parts of that package, and basically do BPM stuff from the agent's perspective. But then I had to like take that template from the Bosch director and render it. And I was like, I don't want any more ERB. So then I started making the alternative templating language, and then I started making the properties thing. So there's this chain of dependencies for getting it to work. We could start work on this if we just did it in made it work with ERB, but it's not, the biggest issue right now. So,
But this doesn't depend so much on the stem cell. It could be continued when noble is GA, or is
yes, absolutely, yeah. We could have this because it is we're not getting rid of Monet. This is a new thing, net new thing. So there's no reason why we incorporate this into the agent, it can't go on both Jamie and Noble. And, you know, as of versions this, your release can provide this. And I would very much assume that for a long period of time, releases are going to have both. You know, they're not going to delete their monet file in one release. They're going to have the new file. They're still going to have the monet file. Newer agents will be like, oh, I'm going to do the new stuff and not use monet.
Yep. Yep.
And then someday all the monet files go away. Probably all of our releases do it first because there's no good, you know, carrot for this. Like, why do I get rid of my monet file? Like, there's no reason for release authors to do that. So, you know, we'll get some mileage on it from the Bosch perspective, all of our releases that sort of are in our working group. And then eventually we start telling people, you're going to have to do this. Copy your BPM YAML over here, rename it, and then delete your monet file, because this has been a thing for a couple of years now, and all stem cells support it.
Yeah. Okay.
That'll be a great day. I probably won't be here for that, but I'll be a great day.
We'll send you an invite once.
There
the
you
day
go.
comes.
Photo party.
I
No.
was thinking that I will met you during the CF day finally, but you are not.
That one's too far from me anyway.
You are not based in San Francisco. I thought you are based there.
No, I'm in Southern
Follow-
California. So it's like, you know, it's only a
Okay.
couple hour flight, but we don't have any budget for travel.
US is so big.
Yeah. Huge mistake if you ask me.
First time when I wanted to travel from San Francisco to New York, I thought, oh, maybe 2-3 hours. And then, wow, yeah, it was. Okay, then I think we have everything on Noble. So CF deployment, when it's unblocked, then I think we can see how it goes with the validation. Do you have?
Oh,
Yeah.
one thing I forgot that I think happened, but did I talk about that last week? I don't know. Did I talk about cleanup of light stem cells? We did. We merged that last week. Yeah, we talked about
Yes,
that.
we
Never mind.
watched that.
Yeah.
You
That got
wanted to observe how how deletion goes.
Yeah. I did some dry runs of it.
Yeah.
And it was fine. And then I ran it, and it did not delete anything important, which was great, as opposed to the last time I did cleanup. So it's now cleaning up automatically things older than 3 years every week. So that freed up some space, which let us publish a new stem cell, which is good. So there still might be some, you know, we sort of did the math that like we think we'd be fine publishing 2 lines at a time. But we'll see if that math checks out or not, or if we need to bump the quotas, which isn't a huge deal other than the fact that you have to do it for like all the AWS regions separately.
Yeah. But now we have we are tracking the implementation of RFCs, and back then we didn't have this and didn't
I
see
would have
that.
said it was implemented. Everybody remembers doing it.
Yeah, we discussed last time. Also, Ramon was on the
Right.
same.
He was sure we did it too. I'm like, yeah, I agree. There's no code though.
Okay, is there anything else we should talk?
No, we finished early.
Then take care and see you next time.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye bye.